I'm Dr. Ajaya Kashyap, Medical Director of CAS Medical Center and American Board Certified in Plastic Surgery. Today we'll be talking about a somewhat newer procedure. It's called a Brazilian buttock lift. This procedure involves augmentation of the buttocks, not with implants, but with the person's own fat or autologous fat. The fat is taken from the abdomen, the sides, and pretty much anywhere we can find it on the body. And this fat is purified and used for augmenting the buttocks. Now, this concept started once autologous fat was something that was the technique of putting autologous fat was perfected to a point where large amounts could be put into a person's body and they would survive. The augmentation of the buttocks was earlier done through implants, which were found to be not as desirable, both in terms of comfort as well as having a significant amount of complications. The word Brazilian came because Brazil is probably the most cosmetically conscious country, and the curve in the back where you had a narrow, thin waist and big buttocks became very much in fashion there. It spread all over from the US to all over now to India, where people want that nice small waistline and large buttocks. Some people have taken it to ridiculous extent, like Nicki Minaj, where the waist is very small and the buttocks are enormous. Most people, however, want aesthetically pleasing figures and not ridiculously big buttocks or extremely narrow waists. There are certain ratios for it, and when we do the procedure, we kind of take into consideration the patient's bony structure, the height, and then the weight and where the fat can be harvested from. The main technique is to remove the fat from areas where it is in excess and where removal of the fat would accentuate the improvement in the contour of the buttocks. Those areas are the abdomen, the sides, and just above where the buttocks start, the hollow of the back. The technique how you take out fat is quite important. The way you do it is you do the marking of the buttocks where you want to take the fat from and where you want to insert it. The fat is removed either through Vaser Liposuction, through microcannular liposuction, or probably the best technique today is water jet or body jet liposuction. The intent is to get the most pure fat available, and once this fat has been removed slowly without damaging the fat, it is purified. The purification of the fat is done either through sedimentation, which is just letting it settle down with gravity. The second would be through straining it, taking a sieve, like a strainer, and pouring the fat through it. Then the third would be purifying it through centrifugation. Through centrifugation, you get probably the most pure fat, although it takes a little longer than other techniques. Now, once the fat has been purified, it is injected through very small cannulae, which are blunt needles, through tiny needle holes into the buttocks, and reshaping of the buttocks is done. Now, reshaping of the buttocks is done for so-called Brazilian buttock lift, mostly in the back. But there are some people, especially people who come from the African continent, who want more bulk on the sides. And I like to call that an Australian or African butt lift, where people from largely from the African continent want increase on the sides of the buttocks and have a curve in that direction. So we're looking two S's. One is the back S, which is the Brazilian buttock lift, and the side S, which is the side S, which is the African buttock lift. And this is the back lift, which is the S, which is the Brazilian buttock lift. Let's go next. So you can see how nicely the buttocks can be shaped. And the advantage of today's techniques is that this improvement lasts as long as the diet and exercise are adhered to within normal limits. Nothing excessive needs to be done. If you want to know more about these procedures, about this particular procedure, you can contact me through my website, which is drkashyap.com, or through Lybrate.